Facebook Live, how are you today? It's good to be on a second time, and it's really great. I'm glad that we were able to go together to Longwood Gardens. That was pretty awesome. I'm going to move my little title down a little bit. It was great being, didn't you love that? Those of you that saw the Longwood Garden footage and the $70 million fountains. Wasn't that tremendous? Wasn't that great? Hope you loved it. Now, we're going to do a couple of things today. We've got a couple of agenda items. First agenda item is, as promised, I am going to demonstrate South American, particularly Paraguayan tereré. And it's spelled T-E-R-E-R-E with an accent in there. I don't know Espanol very much, but it's pronounced tereré, and here it is right here. So I'm going to give you a little demonstration of drinking tereré. Now, you only drink tereré on a very hot day, and it's not super hot, but it's hot enough for tereré. What I'm going to do after the tereré demonstration is we're going to talk about these 5 stages of the organization, but you're going to have to wait. And thirdly, my dog is scooped out a little doggy hole for herself in the garden, and it's very cute and very precious. And I'm thinking about possibly going with you for a walk, showing you Cole holed up in the garden maybe at the end. But here we go. Here's the tereré demonstration, okay? This is what we have right here. We have the bomba straw, this little special little straw that you kind of do that, and then you fill this stuff up. So I'm going to do it. And the most important thing is to put the tereré, which is this stuff right here, in the cup when the straw is already there. So you got to do that before anything else. So we're gonna do this. I had to keep it fresh, so I used a little plastic bag. This is not illicit in any way. And we're gonna do this again. You got to make sure that the straw is already in, or else it's not going to work right. I have done this wrong many, many times. And the other thing you want to do is make sure that you don't overfill it, because this stuff is valuable. It's precious, and you want to stop around about halfway through the cup. The next thing you want to do is you want to get your ice cold thermos. Now you notice that we have a little sidecar right here. That is for the tereré right there. So there are people, if you are cool in Paraguay, you are walking down the street with this thing looking really cool, because you can just put your ice in here. And you can, there's even a little verb for this. You can sabar your tereré by putting the water in it. Now, I've done this at the local Starbucks. They love it. They were so intrigued. And then you take this delicious drink. And it's like a fresh, cold Red Bull shot without all the extra stuff, and actually wires you. And when I drink this stuff, my friends, and I need to get something done, I drink this, and the side benefit is I forget to eat lunch. Yes, my friends, I forget to eat lunch because there's so much caffeine in this yerba mate stuff that I forget. It suppresses my appetite, and I forget to eat lunch. It might be 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And again, the key is to take your freezer tray, the ice cube tray, put it full of ice cubes so that it is ice cold. Because if it is not ice cold, it's going to taste a little too bitter if it is not ice cold, and then it's not nearly as refreshing. So anyway, now be aware, for people that are on antidepressant meds and things like that, there's a little bit of stuff that goes into this that might just interfere with the ingredients. There are no ingredients here, but my wife being in medicine, she looked up all the ingredients. She said, hey, I'm not sure that this is really good and healthy for people, but it works for me, and this is a cultural, I am not recommending the tereré. I am just, this is a cultural show and tell with Nathan. Now, more importantly, okay, let's get down to business here. All right. Very, very, very important that we get down to business, because we are, as you probably know, especially if you're local, we are doing a Becoming a Person of Influence workshop at the Wilmington Public Library, and we're doing it this Thursday. Now, we did one of these. This is our second of three workshops every month at the Wilmington Public Library. It's on the second floor. Now, I showed you a $70 million renovation at the Longwood Gardens with the fountains. Now, a lot of people don't know that there was an $11 million renovation at the Wilmington Public Library. It's beautiful up there. It's gorgeous up there. And if you lead a team here locally, it's a great place where you can very reasonably, possibly even for free, if you're a nonprofit, rent and secure a meeting space off-site, and it's absolutely phenomenal. Now, what we are doing, now, got to show you, Cole is commuting across the driveway here, so got to show you. Cole is moving out of her hole to the other side of the lawn, so she has little stations that she likes to go around to. But anyway, we're at the library. We're doing a workshop, and I'm really proud to say that we had our mastermind group just finish, and it was just absolutely huge. Let me pull up a photo to show you, because I gave them all certificates of completion yesterday. They did a great job. I was just really, really happy to have done this. I hadn't done one of these in years and years and years. And we're outside, so you can't see it very well. But there we are. Yeah, you can't see it very well. But anyway, there we are with our certificates of completion. Now, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek on this. Now, those of you that come to the workshop, or since this is virtual, if you reach out to me virtually and you say, hey, Nathan, I don't want to miss what you're going to offer to people on this workshop. I live in maybe South America, or I live in Asia, or I live in Africa, or I live wherever it is that you live. Maybe you live 50 miles away, you just can't make it. Maybe you live right here in Wilmington and you work and you can't get off of work, but you still want to invest in yourself and your personal growth. PM me, okay? PM me, personal, private message me, and I'll find out a way to be able to hook you in with what we are doing, because I don't want to turn anybody away from the special offer that I'm going to give them, which is more mastermind group. Now, imagine being in a community with other people that are really passionate about their personal growth, really investing their time, their energy, saying no to other things so that they can grow, not just for a short little sprint, but for the long haul. Okay? And whether that is through me or whether that's through other people that you meet along the way, it's important to find that one voice and really lock in with somebody that is going to help you. And maybe you can even invest in yourself in coaching and things like that and just really rapid fire ahead. I hope that you can. Now, I lost my place in the book, unfortunately, but I know where it is because it's right here in the back. And I'm going to talk to you about the 5 stages of these organizations. Now, it's been said very accurately, and you could tell me examples, and I could tell you examples. This happened to an associate of mine that this person joined an organization for the cause of the organization. She joined because she believed in the cause and still does believe in the cause, but she transitioned out because of people, and specifically because of the people who are managing. And that happens every hour, probably every minute, probably every second in the day here in America, and it happens all over the world, that people are joining organizations, but they're quitting because of people. Now, don't let your team, don't let your department, don't let your project suffer because of that. So it's really, really important that you understand these stages of different, almost like categories or stages of organizations, so that you don't let yours slip in the lower 60% of it, the lower 3, because there's a top 2 that you want to be in. Listen, to the top two. I'm going to give you right here. We're moving from a place where we are just simply maintaining the status quo to a place where instead we are multiplying. We want to have that explosive growth. We want the law of explosive growth, which is multiplication, to happen. And the bad news is it doesn't happen on day 2. It doesn't happen on day 3. It happens only after you pass through these other stages. What are the stages, Nathan? You keep asking. What are the freaking stages? I'm going to tell you. Stage number 1 is the crazy scramble stage. All of these are an S stage. So the first S is scramble. It's a mad dash just to bail. I mean, they are bailing water. They are bailing. They are sinking, and it's time to bail out. And hopefully you get a government bailout. But if you're not too big to fail, guess what? You're not getting a bailout. So you and your people, you just have to start bailing. You just have to just run around like a chicken with your head cut off. If you, those of you that read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. I mean, I was hitting the street this week, people. I was out there going door to door. I was talking to luxury car dealerships this week. I was going in there saying, hey, my name's Nathan. Let me do a workshop for you to help lead and help you do your job and help you do your performance. I didn't realize it was the last day of the month. That is not the day that you want to be walking into car dealerships. But I was in there because it's so important that we avoid scrambling and dashing. And one of the people I talked to, the reason I brought this whole thing up is because, you're wondering, the reason is because this guy had a copy of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and he's like, who the heck is John Maxwell? I said, well, he's the guy that Stephen Covey, who wrote that book on your desk, wrote the foreword to his book, 21 Irrefutable Laws. And in Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, there's this quadrant system where there are these 4 quadrants, and you have one of those quadrants, which is exactly what I'm talking about right now. It is a scramble bailout quadrant, and you want to get out of that quadrant. That is when you have high urgency and low importance. That's when you have high urgency and low importance. So you're scrambling around. You're doing exactly what people are doing in this first stage of organizations and teams and everything else, scrambling around, doing high urgency but low importance activities. People are getting fried, they're getting burned out. There's a little bit of momentum, there's a little bit of things that can be harnessed for good, but it's not strategic, it's not efficient, and it's certainly not effective. So you've got to get out of the scramble stage before people start leaving. Okay, and people will start leaving very quickly when you are scrambling. What do we need to do as soon as possible? Get out of scramble. This isn't much better, but it's better than scrambling around. Okay, what's the second S, Nathan? It is survival. Yeah, not much better, but it's better than scrambling, okay? Survival mode, these are 50% of organizations, okay? You're just in survival mode. Now, it's better than scrambling because you're not sweating as much, you're not looking as pathetic, you're not looking as, just hideous, and people aren't running away from you. They might have to look and observe and lean in a little bit just to see that you're only on survival mode, but you can fake it a little bit better that at least you're not scrambling. But maybe you should be scrambling because survival mode isn't any better. People are just surviving day to day to day to day. There are a lot of industry sector types of industries in here. Many fast food restaurants are in this category. They're just plodding. I just think about Dunkin Donuts had a commercial on their competitors. The guy gets up, he says, time to make the donuts, time to make the donuts. And that's all they did. It's just survival. Now, you can be more than that. If you're watching me right now, it's because not only do you want to be more than survival, but you're on your way more than survival. So we got to get out of the scramble. We've got to get out of survival. And we still have to get out of the third stage that I'm going to tell you here in a moment. We've got to get out of this third stage because if you're in these lower 3 stages, if your team, your project, your department, your organization are in these lower 3 stages and not in the upper 2 stages, if you're not there yet, then you are really pouring a lot of your time and your energy and your focus, and you're wasting it if you're not in these upper 2. So I'm going to show you how to get there. What's the third stage that still we have to get out of? We're going to get out of the scramble. We're going to get out of just surviving. Okay. Third stage is siphoning. Now, what the heck is siphoning? I mean, that looks like something that they had. I think there was a joke in that 80s show, Married with Children. I think they were so poor, bad off and everything as this family that they would siphon, or maybe the Simpsons, they would siphon gas from the neighbor's car and all that. That's what comes into my mind when I hear siphoning. Well, instead of gasoline from the neighbor's car, this is what's happening a little bit beyond survival. Okay, you're getting a little bit of margin, you're getting a little bit of profit share, you're getting a little bit, maybe even a bonus, but you're losing your best people. At this stage, you have people that aren't necessarily applying with their survival mindset anymore. They want more. They think you're more. You've fooled them, okay? Maybe not deliberately, but your image and your branding and your way that you go around things is kind of fooling a higher level of applicant, a higher level of talent. And then when they've been in for a while and they find out that you're all about production, so you can survive because you can produce, but are you relating? Okay? Are there good, strong relationships in your organization, in your department, in your team? Or are you merely just hitting it and feeling good about yourself, maybe a little celebration at the end of the month or the end of the week or the end of the day, but what are you doing to really touch that heart before you ask for the hand? Now, obviously, you got to ask for the hand. That's why we have jobs, but paying people isn't enough. And hitting production goals, sad to say, some of you, this is blowing your mind because I see you locking in right here. It's blowing your mind because production is not enough. Pay isn't enough. And when John Maxwell says that law of connection, that you have to touch the heart before you ask for the hand, what he means is there's got to be a relationship. There's got to be caring. And this is where people join the organization. Maybe it's not just a company. Maybe it's an organization. Maybe it's a nonprofit. Maybe it's some kind of government entity that's doing great things and has a great reputation. But because you're so business-oriented or so production-oriented, not finding a way to glue people with the relationships, what is happening is you're losing your best people because people join for the mission and they leave because of people. Maybe some of the team members are not adding value. Maybe they're not relational oriented enough in addition to being production oriented. So that's the siphoning stage. Those are the three stages you don't want to be in. The scramble stage. You don't want to be in survival stage, and you sure don't want to be in the siphoning stage. There are a lot of churches and faith organizations that are in the siphoning stage. There's a lot of turnover. There's a lot of things going on that are not ideal at all. And there's a lot of siphoning of the best people, not just leaders, not just staff, but also people in the congregation, people in the community, people in the parish, and they're going and they're recycling around because there is a disconnect. There is a disconnect somewhere in the management and somewhere in the leadership. Now, where do we want to go, Nathan? Well, we want to go past that place of siphoning. And man, getting a little hot out here, people. So we're gonna have a little bit more tereré. Now, this is a South American drink. Those of you that are joining us, if you are from Paraguay, you are really cool. If you are walking down the street with one of these things, and it has a little holder so that you can actually walk down the street. And then what you want to do now, because I'm left-handed, there isn't a logo on the back here. But anyway, you want to have a refreshing shot of tereré, which will suppress your appetite and have you working all the way, blowing all the way through lunch, work your way through lunch to get to dinner. Now, that may not be a good thing to help you get out of the siphoning stage, but if you're self-employed, you can do whatever you want, which is great. Okay, what are the top two stages of the organization? And as you're listening to me, I'd love for you, especially if you're in the top two stages. Hey, Joe, it's good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. If you're in the top two stages, I want you to type in which stage you're in, because it's really, really important. Heather, fellow Rotarian, come on over. Let's get some tereré. Or if you've heard of tereré and you'd like some, and you're willing to sign a disclaimer and a waiver so that I can share some of mine with you, you can indicate that too. Okay. Scramble. Okay. We don't want to scramble. We don't want survival. We don't want siphoning. Here's what we do want. We want the synergy stage. We want synergy. That is stage number 4. Another word for synergy is success. All right? If you have synergy as an organization, then that means that the sum is greater than the individual parts. Okay? So I got, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 4, but maybe it's 1 times 2 times 3 times 4. All times together. I mean, that is synergy, and that is really success. When you have synergy in your team, and if you are navigating the right way and hitting your goals and doing income and mission producing tasks and goals, you are going to be in a place of synergy. But I'm here to tell you, synergy and success is not enough, because there's a stage that's much greater than success. And if you're watching this today, and if you're saying, hey, Nathan, I think we have success, I think we have synergy on my team, I'm telling you, it's not enough. There's a stage beyond it that you don't even know. There's a stage that I found out about when I went to Paraguay, okay, when I went to Guatemala, where I didn't know about the tereré. If they have it in Guatemala, I think it's a South American thing instead of a Central American thing. But there is a stage beyond synergy. And here's why I'm telling you. Here's why I'm being so animated about this. If you have success, if you have synergy, all you have to do is tweak your vision, tweak just a couple of things that you're doing, not even operationally, but in terms of mindset and goals and lifting your eye just one notch higher. And you can go from synergy and success to significance. Stage 5 is significance, and that's where we want to go. Okay, now here's a little bit of a shift for me, because I went to Africa, okay, with my wife and my brother on a medical mission. It rocked, okay, that was significant, okay, that was really, really awesome. I was real privileged to be able to do that. I gave out eyeglasses, to people on the first day. I mean, they made me a honorary optometrist, so I was helping the people figure out and then say, when I got the prescription right. Now, I don't know how I did it, just with random donated glasses, but I did. Now, but I want to come back and have significance right back here in Delaware and southern Chester County, Pennsylvania, which is 2 miles that way up the street from me, okay? I want to bring the significance back from the other part of the world, because for the last year, ever since I came back from Paraguay, I've been saying, hey, I want to not just go somewhere else to be significant. I want to bring it back to Delaware. I want to bring it back to Pennsylvania. That's why I joined Heather in Rotary. That's why I joined, the Rotary Club, and I speak at other Rotaries, and that's why I went to Reed's Refuge, where they have, instead of having a after-school club for kids that is sports-focused, it's arts and music and dance and drama-focused, and they won an award in D.C. from Senator Carper. They completely rocked it. I went in there and paired up with them and gave them our John Maxwell anti-bullying curriculum. Why? Because I got significance right back here at home. And that's where you can join me. If you're watching this replay right now, and if you're watching me live right now, together we can be significant. And there are a number of ways coming up the pike where we can do that. But it really starts with adding value to people right where we are. Now, there are 3 benefits that happen when we go from success to significance, when we go from synergy to significance. Number 1, okay, they have leaders who stay in the organization. So benefit number 1 is retention. Okay, that's really the difference here. That thing about siphoning versus success, that was a key benefit. When you have success and synergy, people are mostly staying. People are mostly staying and building and learning and adjusting and liaising with each other and being flexible. And that's powerful. When you have siphoning, the people aren't staying and they're leaving. So when you have significance, you have people that are retained in the organization. Now, how much money does that save your HR department? How much of that HR money and that talent management money can you eventually put into research and development? How much of that can you put into marketing and sales or smarketing? How much of it can you put in new innovative social media platforms and inbound campaigns and optimization and all these things that make you even more money so that you can give even more back. Powerful stuff. Here's the second benefit. People are working to reach their potential. People are working to reach their potential. What do we call that? Do we call that being goal-oriented? No, we don't. That's not goal-oriented at all. Goal-oriented is a byproduct, and goal-oriented is a stepping stone. But when you have people that are working together as a team and individually to reach their potential, we call that growth-oriented. That's why we had a mastermind group that just wrapped up last night on the 15 invaluable laws of growth. That's why we printed out certificates of completion, and I signed the paper and I gave them out to all the participants. It was awesome because we are not goal-oriented only. We are growth-oriented, because if we're growth-oriented, we have to be hitting goals, but it's not just in work. We're not just one-dimensional, and we rock star it out of the park at work, and then we come back to a less than joyous, a less than unbelievable home life. Now, the millennials, a lot of people, I was at the Millennial Summit on Tuesday here in Wilmington, Delaware, Chase Center, packed out. My friend Charlie Vincent rock-starred it out of the park, and his team that helped plan that event was absolutely huge. What was that all about? It was about millennials, okay? And I want to come out of the closet. I'm going to come out of the closet right now because I self-identify as a millennial, even though I'm 42 years old. 42 and a half years old, I am the world's only 42-year-old millennial. Why? Because I can relate to them. Why can I relate to them? Here's one reason why. Because millennials are not content to go work a job and climb the little corporate ladder, okay, and maybe pay off their student loans if they can, and make an extra 42 cents an hour doing what they're not content with that game anymore. They say, I want to have a balanced life. I want to have a harmonized life. I want to go home or maybe even work from home and have all of these things just be part and an outgrowth of who I am. Now that is maybe sounds a little dream-ish. Maybe it sounds a little idealistic, but in an age that we are right now where nothing's guaranteed, I think it's smart and I think it's healthy. And when you are a growth-oriented person, you are not going to be content to be a rock starring it at work and low on the totem pole at home because you're not growing in your home life, in your home relationships. Absolutely huge. So 3 benefits. People, retention. They stay growing in the organization. They work to reach their potential, which is they're growing as people. They are growth-oriented people. The final benefit is they develop other leaders. Oh my gosh, that's synergy, but that's beyond synergy. That's exponential growth. When you are developing other leaders, oh my gosh, how killer is that? Absolutely huge. That is our lesson from today. The 5 stages, I'm going to go over them again. The first 3 you don't want to be in. You want to shoot for the final 2. Get out of Scramble. Get out of survival. And get out of siphoning, where you are making it, you're making a profit, but you're losing people and you're losing a lot of your extra profits because you don't realize that you're recycling the revolving door. What do you want to do? You want to get into synergy and success, but don't stop there. Go into significance. When people are looking for growth, when people are looking to give back and to develop other people, that is where you can't go wrong. You've got to grow and develop other people. I know I said there's a possibility we take a little field trip and see Cole in her little doggy hole, but she has moved over there. So maybe for next time we will do that. If you got something out of this, and I know some of you did, love for you to leave a comment. I respond to the comments. Ask me a question. Tell me the number one thing that maybe you've heard a lot of this before, but tell me the one thing that resonated with you that you're going to do so that I can back you up and I can say, atta gal, atta guy, go for it. And you can stay even accountable on this page just by posting a comment as to what you will do as a result of this. Hey, everybody, this has been real. Come to the workshop. Those of you that are local, okay, come to the workshop, Becoming a Person of Influence. If you like this, it came out of the book, Becoming a Person of Influence. That's what I'm going to share, not for $500 or $1,000 or normal workshop corporate price. I can't charge any money. I'm partnered with the library. They won't let me do it. Everybody get in trouble, okay? Especially after this week that we had in Wilmington. Those of you that know the little mini issue here involving funds and stuff. I'm not charging any money, and neither is the library. Come on and send a team that had their funding cut in the last budget agreement. Send them. They really don't have an excuse. We will start a relationship of value-added growth no matter who comes. I would love to see somebody from, or even teams coming from an organization. We have the room. We only do have a few slots remaining, but we do have the room. We've got some flexibility. So I just really want to add value to you, wherever you are in the world, in the universe, in time, okay? Because this is recorded, so I can be in the future. I'm recording from the past in the future. So I am not even limited by time. So I can add value to that. Check out my other videos. Take care, everybody. This has been a lot of fun. And stay dry and stay cool. Take care, everyone.